Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again for the second time to This Week in Guns, brought to you by Patriot Patch Company and Primary Arms. Here on this show, we like to bring you commentary, generally on latest firearms industry news. We throw in a little information and I buzz a few times. I'm your host, Matthew Larosiere, and I'm here with my co-host, Shawn Herrin. Shawn, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm a little concerned that sometimes you might buzz. I'm unfamiliar with that, and it makes me nervous.
I do it.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's part of the job, man. It's been in the description for years. I figured you wouldn't be slacking like that.
No, I copied and pasted it from Google, so I didn't really read
it. Oh, yeah, is it? I can imagine that search. Good gun introduction podcast.
Yeah,
that's the one.
And it was actually about a beekeeper, but I figured it, and so here we are.
All of the latest bee smoker news information.
Exactly. Is that weed, by the way? Like when they smoke the bees, is it like weed or something?
My sister explained this to me recently because she became like utterly fascinated with beekeeping. It apparently no, they don't like it. It like basically soft resets them. It does like weird stuff to them.
So does that mean that bees are like completely useless in forest fires? So my dreams of like attaching little water tanks to bees to have them put out forest fires is just not going to work?
Well, as long as you can keep them below the smoke, right?
Doesn't it rise?
Right, but so you have to have them like go under, and you know what you could do? They're going to be kamikabes, and they're going to have like little water balloons that'll just go right into it.
This sounds wonderful. I love this plan. Except it's too bad that like bees, they're declining in population, which is like terrible for our whole ecosystem. But
because the government keeps murdering all of them.
Yeah, and now we're gonna make kamikabes.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's a lot less bees than the government murders during their. Have you read about that?
I have. Because I don't know why. Like I don't really care that Cuba or Colombia is going, or Nicaragua is going through these socialist uprisings. Like I care that the bees are dying.
No, not the bees.
Yeah, the bees.
Yeah, no, I remember I was reading about that. It was in reference to some case I was working on that was not gun related, but I found out some statistics that they had like murdered 30% of the bees in North Carolina by accident.
Yeah, yeah, I've read a bunch of stuff about it.
Yeah, it's so wild.
It is. It's terrible.
But anyway, speaking of bees, Primary Arms.
Oh, dang.
They sponsor the show.
All right.
Here, you don't have the screen share up, so I'll do it.
I mean, you told me you wanted to do it, so I stopped.
Yeah, but I'm still bad at it. So I got it.
Okay, cool.
Your screen. This is we do it. We do it this way generally. They ship fast, is what I've heard.
They do. And actually, I know for a fact because I recently ordered something and got it shipped fast.
I actually did too. What did you order?
I ordered tactical plate carrier koozies for beer bottles.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I was with you when you ordered that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, right after that show, I ordered this guy.
What you got?
I got a Holosun 509T. It was highly recommended by my friend Ben, who's from Flux. And he was telling me, he's like, this is the one you got to get, and it was on sale. It was a great price. It was like $300, which was lower than a lot of the distributors will sell it for.
Yeah.
So I ordered it, and the thing came right in. And one, it was very well packaged. There were no bees or whatever in there.
That's good.
And two, I really like this thing.
It's like a Volvo, boxy but good.
Yeah. Well, this is my second pistol dot ever. My first one's an Acro.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I follow a theme, but
definitely.
But yeah, I ordered this, and I also ordered some very stuff that's really hard to find locally right now, which would be 45 ACP and 7.62 by 54R. I ordered them all. Came in one box. It was a good experience.
Very cool. That's awesome. And $300, that is a good price.
I was, like I said, we have access to a lot of different places to get things from, and Primary Arms was the cheapest by a not insubstantial amount. So it's definitely a good idea to keep an eye on the sales, which I think they have some going on right now.
It's save 10.
Oh,
Yeah, at the
yeah.
top. It's 10% off site wide, except for like a couple brands like Leopold, Night Forest, Glock. But other than that, everything on the website is 10% off.
Yeah, I just searched 509T again because I guess they don't have the optics anymore, but you can get these things that are cut for it. These things, these hand things, you know.
Yeah. Very nice.
Anyway, yeah. Although this will be over by the sale will be over by the time you see this.
Well, you know.
But yeah, it ends in 3 hours. I just saw this, but I'm sure there'll be a new one. There's always one going on. It's a great place to shop.
Yep. And you can find them frn.deals/PA.
frn.deals/PA. Check them out. They help us. They'll help you too.
Yeah. And they're not a public nuisance.
Well, I don't know. Cuomo might have something else to say about that.
I think he believes that they are, but whatever.
So you guys might remember, luckily I don't think they're in New York, so there's not much he can do, but you guys might remember last week we talked about Cuomo's big gun control push. Well, didn't take very long. NSSF stuck up to the plate and said that they were, gearing up to challenge this. And it's the position of the NSSF that this law is unconstitutional, plain and simple. It is abhorrent that Governor Cuomo is rehashing a decades-old failed playbook that was rejected by courts in the 90s and early 2000s. So then, of course, we're talking there about attempting to hold gun makers responsible for criminal activity or for criminal and wanton harm that it was caused not by the product, but caused by, a bad person. This gentleman, Lawrence Keene, senior vice president of NSSF, went on to say that what Cuomo's doing is just blame shifting for his administration's failure to prevent crime by pointing fingers at firearm manufacturers that have been working with federal, state, and local authorities for real solutions. Oh, God. This law is based on the same legal misunderstanding that would allow victims of drunk drivers to sue Ford and Budweiser for the criminal actions of an individual. This law is not legal accountability. It's political posturing.
And I think that, I agree with Larry Keene.
Except for the real solutions thing. It's like, dude, shut up.
Right. Yeah. Agreed. I mean, when we talked about this last time, I was like just awestruck that this was even a thing. Mm-hmm. And what do you think about their clearly we don't know what the lawsuit says, but
right.
How do you think they're going to attack this?
Well, so this thing that they've released is kind of just posturing in itself.
True.
So I'd have to kind of like guesstimate, but how I would go at it is that this just fails to set up or follow a proper tort claim. I mean, that's one attack. Of course, I don't know how the New York law is drafted again either. So they may have written themselves out of that, but I think that I don't know how much they can do to create liability where there is no negligence, no recklessness, no bad conduct whatsoever. We're going all the way back to common law principles, but of course, statutory law can usurp the common law. So it's going to be an interesting thing. So they talk about a professor of public interest law at Georgetown who wrote that the PLCAA, the Protection of Lawful Commerce and Arms Act, what it did was save the industry from litigation cost, but the industry would have prevailed in such actions anyway if they were tried, which is true. So it was basically like these were always intended to be nuisance lawsuits that were just to bully gun companies, and basically all Cuomo's doing here is trying to do it again.
Yeah.
So of course the other angle of attack would be saying, federal law prohibits this through the PLCAA.
Yeah. But then how does that work with states' rights and federal law? Like,
Well, it's kind of a mess.
yeah, it seems like it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it is.
So there is supremacy, right?
Mhm.
So where the feds have regulated on something and basically said, you can't do X thing, and especially where it involves interstate actors, where it most certainly would, because surprise, surprise, not many gun manufacturers decide to stay in New York. I know a couple boomer ones have, but
Right.
but that's where it would really matter, because especially where you're involving interstate activity, the federal law really will be able to get its hooks in deep. So there's much more of an argument that they could create and maintain these actions for, in sticking it to a local level, but that's clearly not what they're trying to do at all.
Yeah. Very interesting.
So it's going to be a huge nightmare.
Yeah. It definitely sounds like it. I was surprised to see the NSSF bring this suit.
Were you?
I mean, a little bit. Like, I don't hear about the NSSF a whole lot doing things like this. Sometimes some things, but I wonder what made this the thing that they went after instead of some of the other organizations.
Because NSSF is in my estimation, NSSF is a industry group first and foremost. Well, not first and foremost, exclusively.
Yeah.
And the only players here are, bad actors in New York who want to harass the gun industry, and the gun industry being harassed. So this is pretty squarely within the NSSF's wheelhouse. Of course, it's also in the wheelhouse of some other gun rights groups, but it being an industry thing and NSSF being a industry group, it seems like a decent fit.
Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense now. I hadn't thought of it that way. And because like others, it's like if a local or federal government goes after an individual, some of these other groups, they'll like file suit,
right,
with or for that individual. And I guess this
or against a law that affects individuals generally.
Correct. Yeah. Whereas this one does more than anything affect the shooting sports industry, which this does make sense. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yep. It directly drives up costs for gun makers, and NSSF, their key stakeholders are members of the industry.
Totally makes sense. I mean, they're basically a lobbying group, kind of.
I'm sure they have a lobbying arm.
Yeah.
But they're we don't need to get into the tax code. Basically,
exactly.
But yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
I hope, I wish them a great and big, fat, juicy, turgid success.
Yes. That actually sounded disgusting, but
whatever, who cares? All right. So next up, Louisiana is just clawing to become the 22nd constitutional carry state. I don't.
You don't say.
I do. I said it, and I'll say it again. They are just clawing to become the 22nd constitutional carry state.
All right.
So I don't know if you guys know, but a while ago, the Louisiana legislature passed SB 118. It was a permitless carry bill. And Louisiana's, just for background information, Louisiana's legislature is primarily Republican, but they have a Democrat governor, Mr. Jon Edwards. I think no relation. And he vetoed it. So the interesting thing here is that the bill passed by a supermajority. So it's kind of like weird for a governor to see a bill that passed with sufficient votes to override the veto and then veto it anyway.
Yeah. And to be clear, the state house was 72-28-4 and the Senate was 27-9. That's like,
turbo majority at that point.
Yeah.
It's like they want this. So it's not clear yet. We've got an article up on guns.com is talking about it. It's not clear where they're at in terms of doing the override session, but I think it's clear that they ought to. I don't know. But you know what? There is this weird thing in state politics where they still have, like, I'm not going to say honor, but they have like some weird thing that kind of resembles what an alien would think honor was if you explained it to them.
Right.
Where they like don't want to, like they want to respect the veto power.
Yeah.
And so it could like lose some support just because the governor that they generally disagree with anyway vetoed it.
And it says they've only done that twice before, actually.
Yeah. So, well, but like the thing is that it's just really odd for the governor, because the governor's supposed to represent the interests of the whole state, right?
Yes.
And the representatives are supposed to represent the interests of their constituencies.
Yes.
So when you get a bill that passes with a turbo majority,
yeah, like
it's hard to.
There's like, no, I am all powerful.
I wish not for this.
This is not a thing that holds my interest.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense when you have a constitutional or state constitutional concern with it, and that's you voice it very clearly and send it back. But this time, I think it was just more like, not like gun. No.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, yeah. So they sent out a ballot asking if they wanted to have a veto session on the 20th of July. Wait. Oh yeah, session would occur on the 20th of July. So I guess we'll find out by the time we record the next episode.
Right. Yep.
Right. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now you have to vote to vote.
Yeah, we have to vote if we're going to vote.
Yeah.
It's like
and of course they've all gone home, so they don't want to, or whatever. I wonder if they were already home.
That could be, or maybe they're just hiding with the Texas legislators.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Wait, what?
Yeah, like so a bunch of Texas Democrats have like fled Texas, even though they're supposed to be in session because they didn't want to vote on something. And the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, has said that he has gotten the rest of the politicians to vote to say, yes, we are going to hunt down these other politicians and arrest them and sequester them at the Capitol until they do their job.
That's pretty slick.
Right? I was like, all right. I don't even remember what it was actually for, but I'm like, clearly, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah, I am game.
Exactly.
All right. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, good luck, Louisiana. And I mean, if they don't do this, that's just like real chicken shit. I'm sorry. Like that's just.
Agreed. I mean, clearly there's a huge majority. Clearly the governor doesn't hold all the power. And if they give him all the power, then they do all of their constituents a disservice.
Yeah. Look, I don't. And that happened in Florida recently. There's a bill that passed by supermajority. It was a PIP repeal bill, which wouldn't be interesting to our audience, but actually a pretty good idea in my opinion. And our governor vetoed it. So that's like a same party line veto thing, but it passed with supermajority. So like, what do we do?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Your governor DeSantis, is that who it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Our governor, shoulder holster.
Funny that happened because in the picture on the article of the Louisiana was a Taurus and a DeSantis holster.
Yeah, I saw that.
It made me laugh.
Yeah, I've never met him, but I'd like to call him Governor Shoulder Holstered to his face one day.
That would be good. I fully suggest you do.
He would definitely not get it, and I would definitely just look like a maniac.
Yeah.
But I always do, so who cares?
I was like, I'm in.
So this next one is interesting because I've actually personally had experience with these people.
Okay.
It's a pro-gun group, and they are promising us a kindler, gentler sort of disarmament. So, yeah, it's good. So we've got this article here that talks about it's 97% is the name of the place, and they are a new voice in the American gun debate. They have held their first conference, and the conference was titled Bridging the Divide, Understanding How Gun Owners and Non-Gun Owners Can Come Together for Real Reform.
Okay.
So this article by David Cadrea, he apparently went there for the whole 10-hour thing and confirmed exactly what I was thinking. So these people reached out to me last year at some point, and they were coming out with, oh, yeah, we're a pro gun rights group or whatever. And I like, they reached out to me by email. They wanted to interview with me because they were like, you know, they were like, you have a lot of nuanced positions and we're wondering if we could talk to you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's talk. And so we're talking and they just like cut straight to the potatoes, man. Like they were like, so what's your opinion on red flag laws? And I was like, repulsive. They're like, oh, okay, well, what would we have to do with a red flag law to get you to support it? And I was like, oh, yeah, so you'd call it a red flag law and you'd make it repeal the NFA. And they'd be like, they were like, oh, so there's no situation in which you'd support a red flag law. And I was like, no. Like, and I thought, like, I was thinking, oh, this is a gun rights group. They're trying to, like, you know,
yeah,
they're trying to like see if I got any weak points, right? You're like, you know. And I was like, then next up was, they're like, okay, well, what about universal background checks? And I just immediately go, well, they're racist. And like that, like, you know, they like, there was a 30-second pause. And you know, I was like, yeah, I talked about overcriminalization, I talked about all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's a huge problem. And you know, like all of these, and so like they didn't know what to do. They were like, okay. And then there was like safe storage. And I was like, oh yeah, those are awesome to get people to never trust law enforcement again.
Yeah.
And so at the end of it, I was like, look, I'm trying to like understand what the point of this call was. I was like, are you guys supporting these laws? They're like, well, yes. And they just out and said it. I was like, you know, these are like anti-gun laws, right? Well, no, we think that, and I mean, it may have been like a very junior person I was talking to. I don't know. You know, I'm not the kind of guy that LinkedIn snoops people, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to them. I was just leveling with them, and they were like, well, no, I mean, we just believe that that these are issues that, you know, gun owners can come together with and you know, make progress. And I was like, and you think progress is the passage of laws? They're like, well, we think it's an identifiable avenue. I was like, all right, well, I don't.
Yeah.
And can you believe they did not invite me to their lunch?
Wow.
Can you believe?
I can't believe. I'm shocked.
Because I was talking, I like, you know, the details are hazy on me, but I think it was a lunch or some kind of talk thing, and they wanted to have me there. And I was really excited because I wanted to eat. You know, I don't eat a lot. I wanted to have lunch, and they didn't let me go. So I'm really, you know, I'm a little sad about it. But
that's ridiculous.
But yeah, like now I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, just reading this article, it's like, thank God, you know, I wasn't anywhere near that place.
It would have been kind of amazing. So these people should change their name from 97% to I support the second, but
yeah, no, they or just like, I don't know what to call them. You know, 'cause there has to be like, FUD is a specific thing, right?
Yeah.
It's the thing that I bust, right? Which is generally, you know, a person who's misinformed about the state of the law and wants to interpret against himself. This is a person who like picks up a Remington 700, a brand new one with the rusted finish, you know, and puts on a hat and goes, I'm a gun owner.
Yeah.
And we should do something. Like they pick it up so they can say that. Like that's a different thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's a Chet or something, you know, it's not a FUD, it's something else.
They're like they're actors. They're Robert Downeys. I'm just a dude playing another dude.
Yeah. It's like, I want gun control. How do I get people to do gun control? Maybe I make them identify with me. How do I do that? Oh, I'll pick up a gun.
Or the Steve Buscemi meme, like, hello, fellow gun owners.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so, and it started by this, like, this article is really interesting. I recommend y'all check it out. It was started by this, and here's always a thing that, like, blows me away on this thing. The guy who started this group is self-described as a tech founder, social entrepreneur, and philanthropist. As a social impact entity.
I think he misspelled philanderer.
Yeah, and it was created to address some of the most intractable problems facing our one planet. Like, listen, stupid, there's more than one planet, and we have to go shoot at them too.
Yeah. First of all, why do they want to stop calling us names? I love those names. Extremist, yeah, that's fantastic. Gun-toting nut job, love it. I want gun-hating socialist, like
that's me.
Yeah, all of like whatever.
Just kidding, by the way.
Yeah, agreed. I'm an evil gun-hating socialist. A man carrying a bucket of branches admits. You know what you call a bundle of branches?
We do.
Yes, we do.
It's a brandle.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
I don't care about name calling. Like, name calling doesn't affect me. It didn't affect me when I was 9. Like, shut up, idiots.
I'm kind of sensitive.
I am not.
Yeah, no, but no, if I like, but once I'm in troll mode, you can call me whatever you want. It's coming back 10x.
I totally agree. But yeah, this is they're fakers.
It really. I'm just blown away. But so yeah, here the pragmatic solutions, and the pragmatic solutions that were being claimed included universal background checks, red flag laws, and gun safety technology. The panelists were politicians, all gun grabbers, including the token Republican squish added for bipartisanship creds. Gun violence victims, an actor, smart gun startup entrepreneurs, a former NRA lobbyist, and assorted university researchers. This sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I hate this kind of crap. Like, and also, what are you doing?
These guys are so fake that Chipman is one of their lobbyists with his dumb face.
Yeah, that guy's face sucks. I don't know. I'm just blown away at this. It's like, what do you think?
Yeah, this is fake, man. This is fake. This is
there's so much to read here.
This is wolf in sheep's clothing.
And again, this is a purported gun rights. The next panel, like we're like 7 panels in, like reading all this. There's a lot here. This guy wrote down everything.
Oh yeah.
The title of this panel: Legislative Perspectives. What's possible in a Biden administration? And this guy rightly points out, may as well have been called "What We Think We Can Get Away With."
Yeah. This is amazing. Yeah.
Seth Moulton used his Marine combat veteran status as his bona fides for being a gun safety authority, ruling that licenses are required to drive but not to own guns, which he said are literally designed to kill people.
And who's actor Jason George? Never heard.
Yeah, he cites Japan as a country that has effective background check laws for gun ownership, which is like, yeah, I'm sure they're effective because it's generally you can't have one.
Do we really want to be like Japan? I don't think so. There's way too much tentacle porn in Japan, and we don't want that here.
Well, hold on. There's some parts of Japan that are all right.
Yeah, like samurai.
No, the other part. But we don't want this part. We don't want this gun thing.
No.
Yeah, they used to have fairly robust gun culture in Japan, but then the thing is the government of Japan, the one that we installed, is like a bad elementary school teacher where when one student does something, they punish the entire class.
Yeah, man.
So it's like, it would be like every time they would have a firearm murder in Japan, they would just like ban that class of weapons until they got down to like, you need to, like, if you're a farmer in Japan or whatever, and I don't speak Japanese or live there or anything, this is what I've been told by people who don't speak Japanese but went there or something. But it's something like, you need to like prove that you need it for an occupational reason. And then there's like a list of guns that you can get for that purpose. So there's like a list of approved or whatever, like shotguns is generally the thing, right? For, usually humanitarian reasons not humane reasons on farms and stuff.
Gotcha.
And so you go to like the gun shop and get your gun from the list, which just sounds awful.
Sounds a lot like California.
Oh man, that's so bad. And also DC and Maryland and stuff, where your gun has to be approved on the roster.
Yeah.
I remember when I was living up there and my friends were like, I got my DC permit, what should I buy? And I was like, nothing. Everything on the list sucks.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Man. Like fucking crazy, dude.
I kept telling people, yeah, and I think it fell off, but at that point, the Walther PPK was on the list. I was like, get a PPK. It's cool. Everything else sucks.
Man, yeah. So watch out for 97%. That's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
No, it's not a wolf. It's a disabled dog that is foaming so much it almost looks like wool. It's so naked. It's terrible.
Ridiculous, man.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't like them.
Nope.
All right, but next up, let's talk about the real problems. All right.
Okay.
What is really going on in our communities,
Yeah.
with the violence and the video games and the, people having sex out of wedlock.
That's a problem.
And reading dime store novels.
Yeah.
Right. So this guy's coming down. Cincinnati cops, they are coming down. The real solutions. All right. They're doing the hard hitting reporting.
I'm ready for this, man. Like I am so excited to be tackling the actual real things that we can actually make changes to.
All right, man.
All right. I'm ready for it.
Community guns.
Yes. Wait, what?
Yeah. No. So, all right. Imagine this, right? Imagine there's like a gun that's in your community that gets put in a specific place. And when you need it, anybody in the community can go get it, use it, and put it back.
This sounds amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
This is like those little things. It's like a little mailbox and it's got a book in it, and you
it's the gun share program,
and you leave a book, except it's like a gun. You take a gun and you like leave a gun. This is amazing.
This is great.
Why didn't we think of this?
You know what? I didn't. I did think of just like leaving shotguns in trees, but this is. So again, this sounds awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah. Sounds.
Well, here's what sucks. It doesn't actually exist. This is
I knew it.
So what happened was there's I was trying to look this up, and my friend Night Trace is also a supporter of the show. Was looking at this with me. He's out in that area, and he was like trying to get to the bottom of this. He was like, "Is there any evidence that there was ever actually a community gun?" And what he found was like 4 or 5 articles that basically just start with, "Hey, did you know that like when criminals commit guns, they like ditch them?" And like we found it. Well, like we found one under like a washing machine.
Right, because that's where they threw it because they didn't want to get caught with it. Yeah,
and so then the Cincinnati police craft this tale that what this actually is the community gun, and what it is that a bunch of people who can't own guns will share this gun, and they'll put it in this place so that whenever they need to do a crime, they'll just go get the community gun and then put it back. So for whenever somebody else can do a crime.
And what do they track these on, like Google Maps? Is this like geocaching or geo weapons caching, I guess?
Yeah. That's good. It's bonkers. Of course it's not true, because guess what? If that was an actual thing, the first thing that would happen is somebody would just steal it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave this.
It wouldn't be a community gun anymore.
Yeah, this valuable thing.
Yeah,
with a community of people that are clearly not bound by honor.
Right. It's like I could believe in the community gun in like let's say it's like a rural community in like Arkansas or something, or whatever, that there's like 11 families and there's this one spot where like bears generally appear and they have a little gun in a little mailbox. Like I could believe that. And that actually sounds pretty slick.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
But what they're just making up here, like how do you even do the brain stuff to get there? It's like, I found this gun under an air conditioning unit. They must have developed a gun share program.
I know. I like all I know is that I want in.
Yeah, I want in.
Yeah.
That we can there's a video. I don't know if we can let's see what they got to say.
Okay.
They say they're often involved with violence among teens, which I wonder if is also made up.
Maybe they're sharing the location of these community guns on TikTok.
Living in the future sure is cool.
It is so wonderful. I'm like, I'm gonna I'm literally right now looking on TikTok for community
Right.
because I want them.
You want to pull up the thing?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I
I don't know how to do audio yet. You have to teach
Yeah.
me how to do it.
No problem. Here we go. Hold on. I muted everything. So I gotta, okay.
Young adults can feel at home following rehab or treatment where they can find community. It is something Maddie Raleigh wanted. She told her mom, Julie, and her dad.
Is this the right article?
It's the right article.
It feels like not the right news.
Oh, that's the wrong video though. You must have let it autoplay.
I may
Yeah.
have. Hold on.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
and scroll to the top.
This is even more ridiculous. Here we go.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
Are trying to close, but they need help. WCPO 9 News reporter
help them.
Stewart gives us a look inside.
In plain sight, tucked under trash cans and wheel wells, mailboxes, even vacant homes, Cincinnati police find abandoned guns almost every day.
Juveniles, people with felony convictions, will usually hide that gun in a discreet location. It's readily accessible.
What is going on with this guy's voice right now?
Bane.
In the future.
Felony convictions.
Oh my God.
Pot smokers.
Sergeant Jim Perkins, Gun Crimes Task Force supervisor, sees the allure, a community weapon shared by neighborhood groups, immediately untraceable, easy to get, use, and get rid of anonymously.
Is everyone in this newscast like trying to pretend to be a Hollywood voiceover artist?
Yeah, it's nuts. This whole thing is so bonkers. And like literally, he showed no information that it was being used in that manner. They just said, hey, people drop ditch guns. Did you know that?
in wheel wheels.
Yeah. In wheel wells. Yeah. What a spot. What a consistent spot for a community gun.
Vacant homes. In a world where guns are shared throughout the entire community, one man can make a difference. And then they show this.
It's Cincinnati Bane squinting at his computer.
Cincinnati Bane.
Yeah. That guy sucks.
What
a loser. Yeah, that's so stupid. I'm sorry. Like that. Look, it's just such a. There's so much brain stuff you have to do when you fully explain the thing at first. People who aren't supposed to have guns, hide them. It's like, all right, yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yep, 100%. Agreed. They do. So it's community gun share program. Oh, well, wait, hold on.
This is not a thing that exists. It's not a thing that could exist.
It should exist.
It should exist.
Right. Like it should be like, I can imagine a little, locker or whatever, and we all pay our monthly fee, and you got to load it back up. It's like a Blockbuster, back in the day. You got to rewind it, put it back in. If you're like, I really want to try out the, a 6.5 today, go try it out, put 10 rounds back in it, put it back.
Yeah.
That makes sense. This does not make sense.
It doesn't make sense. This is made up stuff by these officers for whatever reason. Like, this is not a thing. And if you think it's a thing and you can prove that it's a thing, like, send us the evidence.
If you are in an illegal community gun share program, send me an invite link and also the evidence, please.
Yes, I would like to see this so-called evidence.
Invite link, please.
Yeah. Definitely my email is not Shawn@WeLikeShooting.com. That's where you could send the invite.
Yeah, definitely don't send it for all lawful purposes. Yeah, all lawful purposes.
Yes, of course.
All right. So next up, we talk a lot about sanctuary provisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Tennessee's is pretty busted. We've got a article here from 10th Amendment Center, really good guys, basically talking about what a mess this sanctuary thing is now. So what this does here, basically in 2015, they passed a state, allegedly a state sanctuary law. And it was like, no resources, blah, 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 shall be used to, enforce any federal gun control law that is unconstitutional. like, well, what did you mean by this?
Yeah.
And so then they amend it to say, oh yeah, well no, that means the Supreme Court has specifically held that law is unconstitutional, or the Tennessee Supreme Court. It's like, okay, well, there's not many of those cases. So then they did another amendment, which did the same thing again. Like, this is the problem. This is what I tell people about sanctuary laws. There's always some, what it is. It's like so I'll give you guys a little history lesson. The French had these gigantic tanks in the interwar period. They were, I think it was called the Char d'Essai, something like that. It was like 5 stories tall. And it used these miserable little engines that had almost no horsepower. But the French told everybody these tanks were invincible. And they would like drive over Peugeots in the street to like showcase France's military might. Everyone who actually operated the tanks knew that they were unbelievable death trap sardine cans with exposed racks that would get completely blown to shreds. And of course, in the battle for France, 2 that were actually like in service were one-shotted, literally. Off. And that's, so to me, sanctuary laws as they exist right now are the big French sardine can tanks. It's like everyone's like, look, we got this invincible protection for you guys. It's all good. We did our job. And everyone's like, wow, look at it. That was so nice. And then one shot comes and
done.
And like that's what's going on here. Like there's always one little chink in the armor that'll unravel all of them. It's either no consequences for failing, for disobeying it, or it doesn't actually say anything.
Yeah, I mean, the bill language is almost identical to the 2015 law, and since 2015, the law's had absolutely no effect or impact in practice because it does nothing.
It doesn't do anything. So, Tennessee, here, you can copy my homework. Just say you won't do anything to help the feds enforce any law, and here's the simple sentence: affecting the simple possession of any weapon. That's it.
Huh. Well, what a time to be alive.
That's all you gotta do.
That's it.
It's way shorter.
Yeah. Huh.
That does the same thing as unconstitutional. You just don't have to wait for the court to say it. You just get to say it.
This is why college degrees aren't as important as people make them out to be.
They're not important at all.
Right?
They don't do anything.
Goodness.
Welders make more than I do, and I have a postdoctorate.
That's awesome.
No, it's not ridiculous. That's right. That's right. That's the way it should be, because they actually stick metal together.
True.
Which is slick.
It's pretty awesome. Can you weld? Can you weld? I can't weld.
Poorly.
I want to get a welder. I don't really know why, but
everybody should have one.
Yeah, I kind of want one.
I have 2 welders. One little junky one that's basically a metal hot glue gun, and I got the nice Harbor Freight welder. That does it's multi-process. It does TIG, it does stick, and it does MIG.
Wow.
It's my first gas welder. It was fun going and buying an argon tank for the first time.
I bet.
I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, I want the gas bottle. Well, what size? Medium?
You're
like, what? Can I get the regular bottle?
Tennessee politicians, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, but so we can talk something a little better now.
Okay, I'm ready.
Block 19.
Okay. Clearly.
Oh, it's got to be 9mm.
Yeah, it's a 19.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
amazing.
Wait, why'd you say in?
Because I want one.
Oh, I thought you were like in, and I was like, what do you mean in?
No, I am in to the.
Oh, you're in. Got it.
Yeah, like I want this.
Sorry for my social problems there.
No. Okay. I think hasn't there been like a whole big thing about this and like everyone's pissed off and
Really?
yeah.
Why?
As a matter of fact,
Well, I did see that somebody was like, stop it when they linked me to it. And I was like, ooh, neat. I like it.
you actually may not know this yet, but Culper has taken it down.
He did?
Yeah.
Is that in the article?
No, it
Oh.
isn't. But I clicked the link in the article and it's page not found. And then when you
Put it back.
when you go to their Instagram, let's
Uh-huh.
see, go home. I'm going to share it. I didn't actually read it because it seemed like a lot of work.
Yeah, too much work.
But if you go to their Instagram here, there's like,
You're not on the Instagram.
oh,
Uh.
wait. Okay, hold on. Let me
Open
get
the bingus. Oh, it's my screen.
Yeah, I was like, yes, I am. So there's like multiple paragraphs. Seems like no matter what we create, anti-gunners seem to leverage every true innovation. Block 19 is not an innovation. It's a fun, safe queen. Shortly after its release, to talk about why guns are bad, we are sick of the past. But like, it's not on their website anymore.
Why?
I think
Like that whole thing you wrote there is just a bunch of blithering about how they wish people weren't so annoying about it.
yeah. There's like a whole bunch of stuff about it, but yeah, it's definitely not on their website. If you go, this is the page. It's not there. So I go to their homepage. I don't see anything about it.
Yeah, and they've just got the Instagram thing.
Yeah, it's like just
so it doesn't explain in the early part of that post like why they did it. It's just
nope. It doesn't appear to. I think probably just because they took a bunch of heat from it. Okay, here's the thing. Like, you want to make it look like the Nintendo gun from now I'm
the Zapper.
Duck Hunt. Yeah, the Zapper from Duck Hunt.
Yep.
You want to make it look like a Nerf gun. Like I you know what? And I may have changed my opinion over the last couple of years, but I legit don't care. Like,
well, look over my right shoulder.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
I just like it.
Yeah. It's cool. Like, and this was actually fun. And it was lasered. The slide was lasered in such a way that you could actually put Lego bricks on it.
Yeah, no. So that was explained that you had to supply a blank slide, right? An unmachined slide, because it couldn't have any grooves in it, because you had to they had to be able to mill in the little circles. I think it's brilliant. And you know what the best part of it is? Look at this. It came with enough dingus to make a little red dot. And also, and it's funny, he says iron's crossed out, it says, and plastic sights. Yeah, the thing was slick.
It's fun. I think that this is a cool thing, and it's
it's
police.
Exactly what he said. It's a safe queen. Like,
you want to know who complains about this?
Who?
The same person that every time someone posts something on the internet, they're like, "Oh, you're breaking one of the 4 rules," like because they have Dunning-Kruger effect. Yeah. Because they think that because they have spent the time to master this one aspect of firearms by memorizing by rote one group of 4 things that any idiot can memorize, that they are now experts in this thing that it represents, gun safety. Like that. So yeah, you know what? You want to make a gun that's pink and blue and shoots 308, you do that. But
I mean, look, if you're not doing it with the intention of like playing it off as a squirt gun or whatever, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, right? Like, this Block 19, it doesn't look like a toy at all. I mean, maybe you could have argued that it looked like a toy years ago, but nowadays, the way guns get kitted out, it just looks like a Gucci'd up gun. Like, it does not. I don't know. Am I crazy here? I do not think that looks like a toy.
I mean, it looks like maybe ish. I don't know. Like,
if you saw that, just like, okay, if you saw that on someone's like living room table, like you just walk in and you saw it there, would you assume it was a toy or just a messed up gun?
I would just assume it was a gun because I know what a Glock looks like.
And see, that's the thing. And so, like, maybe we're biased. I mean, we certainly are biased because we know, like, I can tell an airsoft Glock because the proportions aren't right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On some of them, on others, they're really good. But a lot of the times you can look at it and be like, that ain't right. But I don't know. I just don't.
I mean, like,
I don't get it.
People are like, I've seen the comment a couple times, like, a kid's going to mistake that. Well, you know what? Raise smarter kids. And I'm sorry, yours are dumb.
Yeah. Don't like put your real gun that looks like Legos in with the Legos then.
Yeah.
And also, if you're concerned about that, have a conversation with your child.
Also,
like,
you lock your gun up if you have a kid that would do that.
Yeah, that like eats through grates or whatever.
Right.
It's just no fun. It's just no fun. That's
Here
that's
we
awful.
go. Could there be a more wretched idea? Culprit precision be held liable if a child picks this up and accidentally fires on someone. Hope this is a monumental flop. Boycott, says Melinda. I mean, Karen. Like, oh no. I am disgusted to see this on the market. Gun violence with our youth is on the rise. I blame products like this being on the market. Disgusting. No, it's because gangs recruit children to run their drugs. And that's why youth violence is on the rise. Like, not because people are making Lego guns.
I mean, I think it could also be because kids now don't interact in person, and so they have no idea how to handle conflict.
Yeah.
And so it's very easy for them to resort to, animalistic tendencies.
Yeah.
But why would you listen if you're Culper or whatever company? Why listen to these people? They're not your customers. Like, these people who are complaining are never going to buy a product from you. They're just here to kvetch.
Right. People are tagging Legos.
Yeah.
That they sue them.
Yeah. I don't know if they use the word Lego. The article I read used the word Lego a couple times.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. Okay. So when I first posted this here, I was like, look at the cool thing. But yeah, apparently they got taken from us because we can't have anything nice. Like last episode, the squirt gun got taken from us.
Yeah.
Now this gets taken from us. This is like, is this going to be a thing every week now?
I think so.
They're going to take something away from us every time.
And I hope that Culper didn't actually I hope that they got a cease and desist from Lego and not they just took it down because of social pressure.
The only way that would have happened is if they had used the word Lego, which they probably didn't.
Well, Lego's little pattern though is proprietary, is it not?
No, there's compatibles like that expired a long time ago. Duplos are, well, not Duplos are the big ones. What's the other one? You know the one I'm talking about, the one that your mom would buy you and say it was Legos.
Like we have Legos at home.
Legos at home. Those are, the same thing. It's something bricks with an X, or something. But yeah, there's Lego compatible bricks.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I don't. And it's entirely possible that they goofed and used the word Lego, and that would poison the whole thing. So
yeah, well, Culper, great job. It's a fun looking thing that you made.
Put it back. Yeah,
put it back.
Culper, put it back.
You heard it. You heard the great and powerful Oz.
All right, last up, we've got an interesting story. A Chicago man is charged in the shooting of 2 federal agents and a local officer. What do you think his excuse was?
They were spider people?
Possible. I mean, that I'd buy that. But
right?
He thought they were rival gang members.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So he did a drive-by.
Yep. So that's Eugene Jen McLaurin. Hell yeah. Is charged with 1 count of using a dangerous, deadly weapon to assault a special agent from the ATF, shooting the other ATF agent and a Chicago task force officer. So I guess he, missed one of the ATF agents.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, later on he explains. Yeah, after his arrest Monday morning, he told investigators that a friend had warned him that rival gang members were in the area in a vehicle similar to the armored vehicle the 2 ATF agents were in. He began following it, pulled alongside, rolled down a window, and opened fire with a handgun while driving onto an expressway on Chicago's south side.
Oh my God. His friend totally clowned him, and he's sitting over there like,
got him.
But you know what? Of course, Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown had to come in, say, we will not relent in the fight against gun violence and protecting the people of Chicago.
I mean, this dude got clowned by his friend, and he bought a gun a few months previous for personal protection. And so he pulled alongside of the car that his friend told him was gang members, dropped some caps. Oh no, we can't say cap gun because that's what if a kid gets it?
That's true. Discharged cartridges, fixed ammunition.
So this guy is clearly a jerk.
He's not a nice guy.
No, he's like clearly a criminal.
I think Jen is probably known for, less than his scruples.
Yeah. The suspect's car followed theirs. Officers took down the license plate, and then he rolled up and shot at them.
I bet they didn't see that coming though.
No, they're like, oh,
when they rolled, and they're like, "Let's check this guy down." But
yikes!
just like what a headline though,
Yeah,
and everybody survived also, which is nice.
Yeah, that is good. And then Lori Lightfoot tried to keep her eyes from popping out of her head and said that she's going to have a discussion on gun control and the city's violence. The reason, these big cities, like people were locked down for a year. 2 weeks to flatten the curve turned into a year of no friends, no outside, no stores, no shopping, like no nothing. Like the country, like it's not the same that it was, and it'll never be the same.
Yep. Nope. They broke it.
It's broken. Yeah, it's broken. You exercised control, and
now everyone's mad.
Yeah, everyone's mad now, and
and it's hot.
Yeah. I mean, Predator's coming this year. Like it's hottest year on record. Like Predator is coming. I've seen the movie.
Neat.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. And then you'll be thankful we have all these guns.
I mean, I'm already thankful.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty dope.
They're nice to me. They're generally handsome, well behaved.
Yes.
With the exception of a couple of I do have a Zip 22 there, but people dump on my Zip 22. I'll tell you,
I want one.
This one, it runs. It just runs.
I saw one in a store once, and I was like, I really want that. And
I have all the accessories.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I have, including the SBR attachment to mount it to another pick rail.
Even better.
Yeah.
That doesn't turn it into like an AOW or anything, does it?
It does. No, okay. No, so there's different things, right? So I think you might be able to get away with putting on a firearm because you can attach a pistol to a firearm, or you can go from pistol to firearm.
Pistol to rifle, right?
Well, but no, because if you attached it to a rifle, you would have created a short-barreled rifle. Because there's a firearm fired from the shoulder, and the barrel is like 1/16 of an inch, right?
Okay.
So you could attach it to a 20-inch rifle, and it would still be a short-barreled rifle, which is stupid. Which is stupid. It should go like if it's multi-barrel, it should go by the longest barrel, I think. But
yeah, agreed.
But that's how it be, and that's why the attachment's called the Zip SBR. But I think that the problem is that the problem with attaching it to a pistol, because then it can become an AOW, right? Because then it'll have another forward grip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, which is weird, right? Which is weird because that thing does not have a pistol grip. There's no like place where a normal human hand goes and wraps around and grips it.
No.
But like the prevailing opinion, which I've never tested, right? This is all, people talking off of each other. The prevailing opinion is that when you attach a pistol, it necessarily has a pistol grip. And so when you screw a pistol grip to an existing pistol, it's got another pistol grip. One of the pistol grips is forward, right? Which logically kind of makes sense, except when the Zip 22 is in play. So I think the way to get away with it might be the firearm thing. So like if you had the 26-inch 410 AR, I think maybe you could slap it onto that. But now you've just made the most useless platform.
Right.
On like the planet with a incredibly useless secondary.
That's great. You're like, I can only shoot 30 feet. Help.
Help me. They keep stepping back.
Goodness. One time we made patches that were targets, and the goal when people ordered them, you had to go shoot them and then post pictures of like hitting the target, and it was really cool.
And so then they
that was
keep the patch with the hole in it.
Yeah, and there was like a badge of honor kind of. That was the worst segue to patches ever.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, look, I got some fresh in the package. You like that?
Yeah, ASMR.
We always get an ASMR session whenever we talk about our friends, Patriot Patch Company. Of course, we've got last month's edition, Danger Close. Very cool. Thank you, Patriot Patch Company. This month's edition, let's check it out. I know some members of our audience are really going to like this one.
Yeah. Boom. Make treason lethal again.
And it's a picture of a guillotine.
And it's got blacked out distressed flag behind it.
Yeah.
I actually like this patch.
It's a big one, as you can see, for scale.
It is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That's like cheekbone to chin.
Yeah, that is actually, cheekbone to, that's my chin here. Yeah. Wow. Very well done.
The Tree of Liberty is one of my other favorites. This one, and look, it's cheesy. It really is cheesy, but I kind of love it.
Yeah, it's cheesy, but it's kind of a nice, little surprise.
Yeah.
When it just comes in the post.
It is.
And of course, it comes with a stinker. For those of you guys who like stinkers.
Definitely. Yeah. The stickers.
They all come with stinkers.
Yeah. See, I got one right here.
Yeah. Stickers are, I'm not into stickers anymore. I don't spend as much time around toolboxes.
I put them on my safes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I like my safes to be clean.
They do come with these cards, which it seems.
The cards. Yeah. It's like a line drawing of the art every time, which is cool.
Yeah. It's like the.
I'm never sure if I'm like missing something though. Like, is this a coaster? Because it's thick.
It is thick. No, I think it's just like a nice collectible since you're in the Patch of the Month Club, but it shows like the initial idea for the patch by Ryan Cross.
Okay.
And then they show, they have that, and it's like a collectible thing. And here's what you may not know, Mr. Outlaw, is that these patches, like patches in general, there's a huge trader market that goes on out there.
Really?
Like I have a patch on my wall right here that's worth about $900.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't see it right now, which
that's missing.
It's slightly concerning, and I'm going to stab somebody, but
I have a
patches are a big thing.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of interesting things that a lot of people would never remember. Like I have a video game that's worth over $1,000.
What?
And of course, I bought it for $30 many years ago.
That's amazing.
And it's just like you never think that that'll happen, but you just hold on to this stuff.
Patches are like Pokemons, really.
Yeah. They what is it, like on eBay or something that people trade these?
No, there's patch groups. Morale patch groups, like on all the social medias and things like that. And actually, Patriot Patch Company at patriotpatch.co has like their entire collection of Patch of the Month clubs for like since the beginning. And like if you had a collection that included like all of them with the original line art drawing and the sticker and the patch unmounted, like you could sell it for a pretty penny. So I suggest that you all go to patriotpatch.co and do that.
Yeah, we're members.
Yep.
There's no reason you can't be.
No. Unless you're lame like Jin.
That's true.
Yeah. But coupon code for them is what?
There's what is it? Twigs? There's twigs.
Yeah,
10 twigs. I think you were talking about this earlier.
Bundle of sticks.
Twig 10. Twig 10 is the code.
10.
Yeah, TWIG 10. Get your discount. It's on us.
Oh man, it's very cool. So yeah, thanks to Primary Arms and Patriot Patch Company for supporting the show and
for being our friends.
Yeah, that's the most important part. Is that they're our friends forever.
They're our friends.
Yep. Even if they get another restraining order.
And they invite us to Thanksgiving again, please.
Yes. Anything else, man?
I think that's all, man.
Boom. We will talk to you all when.
Have a good week next week.
Yes. Bye.